Hello everyone, I'm DivenDerp, and this is a demo of my Product Hub script. This is a free screen-only script for displaying items for sale, like ships or what have you. Break the video down into basically two parts. First, going over the features and how it works, and then showing you how you can use it and customize it. I've tried to make it as simple as I can for non-coders, but being a screen-only script, there is a little bit of going into the code and adding in images and changing text and customization of colors and stuff like that that you'll have to do. But I think I could do it for show you guys how to do it in a way that shouldn't be an issue for most people, even if you're not a programmer. All right, so let's get started. So first off, this is just like a running demo version. Up top, you have the name, obviously customized. You get the price for a blueprint and a token. You have these different tabs up here for displaying different types of information. So we have tab 1 here, which is a long description of text. Tab 2, which is a key value field. So for instance, you could have, thrust and atmo and then the value over here, or total cargo hold and its value over here, or whatever. You can have multiple tabs here, and the values and how many of these things can change per tab. These are also static, so while I have it set up like this one, if you wanted the first tab to be key item pairs and the second tab to be a long description, you can totally do that. The images here, if you'll notice, they cycle. Because I clicked a button, it's going to take a little bit longer, so I have it where if a person interacts with the screen, the current image is on basically gets an added 30 seconds to stay stationary. That way that they can read it or look at it without having to constantly click the previous button or the next button or whatever. So here it's going to go start scrolling itself again. Let's sit here and watch a couple. Bam. You'll notice some of these images have, like it says, an optional heading, an optional description field down here. You can put whatever values you want in these, or you could just say that an image doesn't have these. It is per image, so each image also has an optional heading and an optional long description that you can use. There's also these buttons here for going next, so I could just cycle through them if I want, and vice versa. And like I said, whenever you interact with the screen, the little bar over here that shows you when the next image is going to slide over gets a little bit longer. That way, again, if someone wants to read a particular image, then they can. It's totally fine. It's not going to keep scrolling on them too fast. Alright, so that's the general overview of it. So let's go ahead and get into how you customize it. So, go to Advanced, Edit Content. Again, this is a screen-only script. There is no programming board. So there's a bunch of stuff here, but if you'll notice, I've marked out an a begin edit here and an end edit here. And so everything in between these is where you come to customize. So for instance, the product name, you can change it to taco ship. You can say the price. We'll add in a bunch of 9s here. 999. Also added a bunch of zeros. And so we can do that. And there you got your price up there. If, for instance, you don't have a blueprint or a token, you can say, so for instance, if it's blueprint only, all you do is take out the token price. You leave the value empty, basically. Apply, and bam, blueprint only. And it works the same way with a token. Let's go back and add a token price here. Some random number gibberish. Bam. All right. So now let's go. So next up are the colors. So this is where you'll change various things. So like the header font color, the subheader font, just the normal font color. I won't necessarily go through changing these, but this is where you would do it. The R is obviously for red, green, blue. It is 0, or O is for opacity, so how opaque it is. These are completely customizable. You just change the value here. So if I wanted the header color, instead of being yellow, I wanted it, let's say I wanted it purple. That's purple, I think, unless I'm dumb. Yeah, it's purple. There, you could have the color up there, and then you can go up here to the header color, which is basically the background of the header, and you could have it, what's a not awful color? I guess they're all awful, but we could do 4 there for like a really intense green. Yeah, that looks like garbage, but if it's what you want, hey, you can have it. But all the text and all the font and background colors are completely, ooh, that is like really hard to look at. But they're all editable is the point. Let me change this back to something not awful. It should be yellow. And just put that back to 0. All right. Yeah, that is that was harsh on the eyeballs. Okay, back to this. So those are the colors. You have the buttons and the button press, the tabs and the highlighted tabs when it's selected. All right, now here's where we get to the meat and potatoes of it. So the gallery is for images. So if you so to add an image, and again, there comes with like the 5 stock ones. But let's say you wanted a 6th image. Let's just say you wanted a 6th image. You just come down here to this last one here. Copy. Paste. Control-C, Control-V. And then you would place within the little ticks here, in this portion here, you would place the asset that you get from InQ. If you wanted an optional heading, you would place it here. So let's say, hey, taco, why not? And the optional description is, I like tacos. All right, so we'll hit that. So now if I scroll, there should be a duplicated image somewhere with I love tacos. There we go. Tacos and I like tacos. So now, let's go back in. Okay, so that's how you add an image. And again, it's just the asset string you get from InQ, optional heading if you want it, optional description if you want it. If you don't want them, just leave them blank. Now for tabs, again, if you wanted to add or take away tabs, you can. All you got to do is same thing before. You would just duplicate a tab. So let's copy, paste, and we'll call this tab 5. All right. So now if I go out of here, we should have a. Whoops. What did I do wrong here? Oh, I typed something wrong, didn't I? Oh, yep. Accidentally fat keyed. There you go. Happens to the best of us. There we go. Yeah, so now I have a 5th tab. So let me just grab these guys. Let's change the stuff about that 5th tab. Oop. Where am I going? There we go. So we'll say key 1 is... So this tab is taco, and it has shell 1, beef 2, cheese, and we'll say pepper jack, and sauce will do, ooh gosh, we'll do hot. All right, let's add a new one in here. So this was a little harder to describe because the way to code is a little confusing if you don't know what you're looking at. But just follow what I'm doing. I'm grabbing from this first little curly brace here, that I'm selecting all the way over the value in the button, the key and a sauce. The other opening curly brace, and then a tick. So unless it's the first item in the little line here, always grab a tick, copy it over, and we'll say walk extra. Alright. So now I have a tab. It's called taco. And you have a shell, 1, beef, 2, cheese, pepper jack, sauce, hot, walk extra. Alright. And that's basically the gist of it. Like I said, there's not terrible too much to it. It's just a screen. There is no board. It's free for you to use it, customize it, do whatever you want with it. I don't care. If you feel so inclined, I will happily take a tip. But it is free to use by whoever, however. The code you can ping me on Discord for the code, or probably the easiest way to get it is just go to my GitHub. It'll be in the video description. And the GitHub will also be in my DU creators, which I believe is also DivenDerp. If you want to see this script or any of my other scripts in action, I have a public, whatever these are called, VR station thing, Divin's Bazaar. It's still a work in progress, so don't judge it too harshly. Here's me using my very own script. Yes, I am in fact plugging my own ship in this shamelessly. I don't have shame, so here we go. But yeah, so I have the Dormouse. It's a blueprint with the token. The token's actually 20 mil, but the blueprint's just 5. If I scroll through the images, you can see, all different things I have down for it. There's an example of someone using it. Then you have up here, I have a main, which is just a long description. Token, where to get a token at, who to contact to get one, the Atmos stats, the space stats, and just some miscellaneous things about it. Yeah, and so that's an example of just someone playing with it. Again, the colors, you can see they're slightly different or customizable, so you can do it however you want. But that's the gist of it. Like I said, it's pretty simple. I've actually had this for a while, and I've just not put a video for it because time is not something I have a whole lot of. But yeah, if you have questions, comments, concerns, want to do it or having issues setting it up, feel free to reach out to me. Even if it's not me, you could probably reach any generally competent lure, and they'll probably be able to make the changes you need. It's not, like I said, it's not a complicated script. It's pretty straightforward. And I hope people find it useful and get much enjoyment out of it. Alright, I'm signing out. Y'all have a good one. And again, grab your ducks and get coding.